and welcome to another edition of the Miami County Republic's 5 Questions, 5 Answers series. My name is Brian McCauley. I'm the managing editor of the Miami County Republic, and I'm here today with Paul Luce, who is the administrator here at the Miami County Medical Center. Paul's going to be our health representative. As a reminder, this is a part of our community conversation initiative. We're going to be asking the same 5 questions to 5 community members in the fields of law enforcement, education, health, economic development, and government. And Paul here is representing our health category. I think a lot of people here in Miami County know Paul. He grew up here in Miami County and has been with the medical center for quite some time. And so we appreciate him being here today to answer these questions. And so we'll jump right into it here. The first question that we're asking, and we're considering this one of our most important questions, is what are the most pressing challenges facing our community at a local level right now?
You know, I think across Kansas and certainly our county community is not any different, and that is the desire and the need to remain relevant to our population. As many places have experienced, out-migration and declining economic conditions and inability to provide a lot of the basic community sources, it becomes less and less viable as a community overall. It just becomes a collection of houses rather than a vibrant community. So I think remaining relevant and maintaining a growing and vibrant community is really a huge challenge for every small community in Kansas.
Sure. Excellent. Well, thank you. Second question. Considering the evolving media landscape, what role do you see local newspapers playing in the community 5 years from now?
And it's really difficult for me to project 5 years for anything. That change is happening so rapidly across our whole country. But certainly the papers continue to have a very relevant position in that so much of our information and news comes from either national level, which has very little significance in some cases, or maybe a lot of significance, but it's not local. It doesn't give us information about local. And so much of the local becomes word of mouth or just bites of things on social media. And I think the papers need to have that continuing perspective of a more in-depth presentation of issues and human interest and supporting the businesses in the community, the business and the structures of the community, again, to help them remain relevant and vibrant into the future. So I hope that's what we still see the papers doing in 5 years from now.
I agree with you. I think hyper-local, and I think that's going to become even more important as more communication gets out there.
Exactly.
Absolutely. Number 3, in your opinion, what role should our newspaper play in promoting civic participation and community involvement?
Again, I think it's huge that we have a lot of great things that go on in this region, in our community, social issues and structures that support the social needs in our community, from businesses that are doing great things. We have national and international businesses located in this community. At the same time, we've got the businesses that just impact this community, and there's a huge spectrum, and having the paper be available to highlight some of those various things is critical, so people have an expectation and an understanding of what makes up our community. The civic things, obviously there's a lot of local interest things. I think of school issues, governmental issues, elections, politics, local politics, etc. That issues get presented in depth by the paper, whereas it gets a little more skewed if it gets to online, etc. It may or may not always be as clear a presentation of facts. So I think that's huge to continue to have that involvement as the relevant source for truth in what's going on in various issues.
Factual information presented each week. Absolutely. Number 4, what community events or activities do you believe our newspaper should cover to better connect with our residents?
For me personally, I read the paper every week, and
we appreciate it.
Yes. But a lot of that is just finding out what's going on with my community members. I've been in the community a long time. I know a lot of folks, and knowing, hey, I know that happened to them or this happened to them. Good things or bad. Some things you just don't know about, you haven't heard, but there's also some really good things going on, and it's great to hear those positive things about the community. Human interest is always going to be the draw for any community, and the folks that are just doing great things and been involved in various organizations ancillary to the administrator role here that have community involvement. And I've heard a little bit about different things that people are doing that are impacting youth, that are impacting pets, that are, there's just lots of good things going on in our community. And I don't know that there's one issue I can say, oh, you have to do that.
Yeah.
But staying with that human interest and that local interest is going to be critical to being relevant for them.
No, I agree with you. One of the things we used to, and Gene Morrison, I will do this in sports too, it's names.
Yes.
We really try to get as many names in the paper as we can because, like you said, this is the people that are reading this probably know. If they don't know that person, they know their parents or they know grandparents.
Yeah.
And it's,
I know personally, when I was in high school here, it was cool if I ever had my name or my picture in the paper. Didn't do that much to get it there, but it was fun to see and to see classmates and whatnot. Those things are lifetime memories for people as they continue to grow.
We like to think of ours as scrapbook papers.
Yes.
People are cutting it out, putting it on the grandparents, putting it on the fridge, that type of thing.
Yep.
Excellent. Number 5, considering the current economic landscape, how can our newspaper support local businesses and contribute to economic growth in the community?
I think it's so hard in any business environment to reach out to your customers, to be able to connect with the people that need your services or that would like to use your services. And I think, the more you can do to highlight what businesses do, what impact they have in the community. I mean, we've got several that are larger employers that have a huge economic impact in the community, provide a lot of economic income for the community and for the other businesses. So things that you can do to highlight local, that whole local interest goes back to the human interest, but also the businesses and the governmental guidance, etc., are all critical. So
that came up in one of our previous interviews. He was kind of maybe like a business spotlight, trying to highlight more of these local businesses and what they do.
And of all sizes, because we got businesses that are just getting started, and you've got businesses that have been around hundreds of years.
Sure, and do people know about them?
Right.
Absolutely.
Right.
Well, wonderful. Well, thank you, Paul. That was a great job on those 5 questions. And one thing we have been asking each of our interviewees at the end of each interview is we're going to be putting together a survey at the end of this 5 questions, 5 answers series, and that's going to go out to community members. And we're asking each interviewee, is there a question you can think of we could put on that survey that might be information that would benefit you, the medical center here, that you would like to know? Is there a question you could think of we could put on there?
Well, as I'm sure you know, and many of the community are aware, Miami County has been a part of the Olathe Health System, and we have been recently merging with the University of Kansas Health System. And so we're in a transition of culture and of services, etc. And it would be very helpful for us if people would let us know what are services or care needs that you have that you'd like to see offered in this community that maybe we don't offer yet, or maybe you don't know if we offer yet. Let us know what those are, because I don't know where that future is going to take us, except I know it's a huge portion of the desire for our organization, the University of Kansas Health System, to provide care close to home.
Sure.
So what care do we most need to be providing that we maybe are not doing now? So love to hear that feedback at any time. So,
and I get the feeling there's a lot of services you probably are offering that people don't know about.
Yeah, every month at least I have somebody say, oh, I didn't know you did that at the hospital. So it's always, and I'm sure other businesses have that same thing. Well, they don't know that we do this. So. Yeah,
absolutely.
So,
well, thank you, Paul, for sitting down with me today.
Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for watching. And a reminder that you can follow along on our Facebook page and on our website under the Community Conversations tab to learn more about 5 Questions, 5 Answers series and our Community Conversations series. Thank you.